Hey everyone, Tom was here back at it with the Road to 40, Chapter 4. Look, I wanted to do this earlier, but as usual, especially when I get into a few months of a thing, I don't know if it's tired or lazy or stagnant, but I seem to be eating just to maintain my current weight. But I have so much to lose, so I should be losing a lot more. But for some reason, I'm just not. It's what happens after a few months. I get lazy or not, I don't want to put in the full effort, or I don't know what I'm doing, but I know a big deal has to do with me being tired all the time, as I mentioned in several videos. So I'm here at sleep study number 2. I didn't realize you had to go to more than one. I figured you did one. They said, oh yeah, you definitely need one of those machines. But no, you have to go to a second sleep study with the machine to see how that goes. Then the doctor orders the machine. Sounds like a big process. So we're going to step inside. We're going to be fitted for our machine. And we're going to try to sleep a lot better than we did on sleep study number 1 with the machine. And, I'm curious about this because I don't know, I don't know if I can sleep with this thing on. I tend to move around a little bit, but am I moving around a little bit because I'm restless and I can't get proper sleep? Or am I moving around because, that's what I do. I don't know. But anywho, we're going to step inside sleep study number 2 on the road to 40. And Tom was here.
Hey, how do you like this? I'm Danny Israel, and you're watching Tom Was Here.
Okay, so just chilling, waiting for the tech to come in. Different room this time, but looks very similar. They're going to be testing me for a different, I think like a certain mask type. I guess there's varying degrees of them. Not looking forward to that, to be honest with you. But then again, if it helps, if I wake up feeling rested and I feel like I have good energy, maybe it's all worth it. I think it might be all worth it. I'm just hoping it's not as miserable as I think it's going to be. But we'll see. We will see how it goes. Okay. So first impressions. This sucks. It's weird because it's constantly pushing air into your nose. Now, I guess the nose one is the initial state, like the beginner one, and then there's ones that go through your into your mouth and your nose, and different types that are bigger and bulkier. But as far as the introduction, not great. We'll see. Like I said, the lady said that some people take months to get used to this, but just in the initial stage, I'm not. No bueno. No bueno. All right, well, listen, I kind enough to my tech to give me an extra 9 minutes this time. My bell time was 4:39 this time around. It's now currently 4:49 in the AM, so I appreciated those extra 9 minutes. But no, I didn't film a ton in there as far as the with the device on, because getting used to that thing sucked. And as you saw in the video, I was not particularly thrilled initially with the results of that. It was definitely something that took a while to get used to. I think part of the issue is that when I sleep, or more recently when I've been sleeping, I do a big sleep no-no, according to things, because I feel like, especially when I sleep on my back, that I'm not getting proper air or anything. So I tend to sleep on my side, and more recently I've been tending to sleep with my mouth open, which I know you're not supposed to do. And when they put the device on with the constant airflow that was going in my nose, it took me a while to figure out, hey dummy, if you close your mouth and just breathe through your nose, you'll be better. Now my nose sucks, beyond the general size of it. I've had a lot of nasal problems. Probably my most common health issues with my nose. Like I've had polyps, I've had all types of stuff. So I don't trust my nose a ton. And so doing that took a while. It was not something where I felt like super comfortable doing that. But when I embraced that, the device and everything was a lot easier to deal with. But, you know, I still woke up. I felt the same amount of times. Maybe I didn't. I definitely woke up quite a few times in the night. I do that at home as well. So, you know, that part's not great, but that could be also getting used to the machine. That stupid finger thing they put on you, which I know is which I know is like completely like important and crucial, but for, you know, it doesn't have a lot of like give where you can like move around a lot, so that kept like pulling me to the side. So that part was not great, but I can tell you this, I'm tired because it's 4:52 in the morning, but I feel rested, I mean, not rested, but I felt better coming out of this one than I did the initial one. So in that circumstance, that's a good thing. And, you know, I'd be curious to see on a full night of sleep, if I wake up, do I feel, you know, pretty good, like ready to tackle the day? And I think possibly once I get officially used to doing that, you know, I think it's just one of those things where it's going to take a little bit to get used to figure out, just trying to, because I did kind of get used to it last night after the initial, you know, like, because I'm trying to keep my mouth open because I'm like, oh, I get more air if I do. My body's like, oh, you get more air if you keep your mouth open, and not thinking through that there's constant airflow going in my nose, but not trusting my nose enough to give me everything I need. And then when I did that, then it was actually better. So, you know, I see the advantages and I see that, you know, it's just a matter of, I'm hoping that this is something that will cure me of my tiredness and give me more energy, to be able to do more, you know, to be able to do more as far as like exercise, as far as like, you know, thing, because I just feel like, you know, working and then after work, you're just like wrecked. And then when you wake up, you're like, well, I'm too tired. You're too tired and groggy now to do anything. And then that's basically your day. And then the weekends are just full of, you know, I try to find, you know, videos to go do or something to go do, or, you know, activities to get into. And then when those activities are over, it's like, well, you can't do exercise now. That's it. And then that's basically how that works. And so my exercising has been stagnant. Less than stagnant, it's been basically non-existent. So I have to do more of that. I have to do more active things there. And I think maybe if I'm less tired, I can do that more. Let's hope. So, anywho, we're going to go home. We're going to shower this weird glue stuff out of my hair that they put with all the electrodes on there, and then step on the scale. And I'll be honest, I'm not looking forward to that. I don't, you know, at the best, it's going to be probably about the same it was last month, and at the worst, it's going to be slightly worse. I feel like I've been eating to maintain and not eating to, you know, lose weight, which sucks. But yeah, I mean, I think, you know, maybe all of this ball is tied around into the sleep thing, and the hoping is with the sleep thing over that we'll be better off. But we'll see how this goes. I will see you tomorrow morning, hopefully. All right, let's see. There you go. Okay, so 284.2, which is not a major difference from last time I weighed in, which was like a month ago, which sucks. But, you know, let's take the good with the bad. 284.2 is officially me at the 20-pound mark. I have now lost 20 pounds. Now, could I have lost significantly more in this period of time if I had stayed motivated the entire time? Absolutely. Did I do that? No. And I'll be honest, when they strapped me in, when they put that thing over my nose, I was willing to go on a chicken broth diet immediately. Like, that's how bad it was. at the initial stage. The only thing I can describe it to is like, have you ever opened your mouth in a wind tunnel? Like you couldn't get like the breath. That's how it felt. And I don't, as I mentioned, I think I don't like relying on my nose to breathe because I feel stuffy and nasally at almost all times. And that's kind of why my voice is kind of nasally too. It's all this nose, this pain in the ass right here, this problem right here. So doing that where it was exclusively going up my nose, I was ready to. You press the button because she said press the button if you can't do this or whatever. And I was ready to press the button, and then I realized the other options is over my entire face, and so. The idea of it is it's air constantly shooting. It's like oxygen constantly pouring in. And so doing that, I realized I at least have my mouth that I could like close up my nose, breathe, or close up my mouth, breathe. It worked both ways, but I couldn't figure out. It took me a long time during the night to figure out which one worked best. And there was a struggle there. It's not comfortable. It's bad. If there's any motivation for you to attempt to get into shape, it's this one. That's the alternative, and it sucks. So it's uncomfortable. For people that you've been sleeping your entire life, you never slept with something on your face. So and then the few times when you were in like you maybe had a hospital visit or whatever, and they had the tubes up there. It's not a pleasant experience. But yeah, doing this and having this occur. It's not realizing this will be my immediate future and possibly lifetime is going to take a lot to get used to. Apparently when you do embrace the monster, of which I did figure out during the night, I figured out a way to deal with it, and it was better, but still awkward and still weird. Now, admittedly, they do strap all this stuff on you. They kind of glue it to your head, which I mentioned in the last one too, and they have this thing that's over your finger that has like no leeway whatsoever. So, I tend to sleep on my side, and doing that and trying to do that with this thing or trying to like roll over is almost impossible. So I kept pulling this way. The whole process sucks. The good news is hopefully this is my last sleep study. But, so I was never informed what the results of my sleep study were. Apparently you're supposed to be. And they did mention during the last one that I did, stop breathing for several times during the night, which is a common sign of sleep apnea. What I found out this time around is that I'm on the very severe side of that, where I did it a ton, like a whole bunch. And it's odd because you'd think after the results of that sleep study, they see on the severe side of that sleep study, and they wouldn't just order you a machine right away. They instead make you do a second sleep study with the machine, I guess, to see if it improves. And then they order you the machine, but the machine takes another month. It's an odd way of doing things. I mean, if it's something where, because the idea of it is that, if you're, not breathing during the night, you potentially, let's not kid ourselves. Breathing during the night, you potentially could die in your sleep, which is not good. So obviously I'm trying to do everything I can to avoid that, which is understandable. But it's odd that they would do this and then the machine would take another month. It's like they're not worried. They're not that concerned about it. If they wait you a month between sleep study 1 and 2, and then another month to get the machine. So I don't know what the parameters are of that. It seems very strange, but I'm not a doctor, so I don't know how this works. But the good news is I'm down 20 pounds. I can certainly put something in my cap on that. I should be a lot further along. I acknowledge that. I go through peaks and valleys. Similar to any short-term relationship maybe you've had dating someone in your life. It starts out hot and heavy and you get super motivated out of the gate. And then as the months go by, it tends to peter off a bit. And I've had moments of that. I have had moments of motivation. I've had moments of pure laziness. I've had moments where it's like, well, I'm not eating too bad, or I'm, I'm not, snacking a ton, but I will snack occasionally. I mean, that's what I do. I still haven't given up pop. Exercising still, almost non-existent. So I got to get better at those things. I got to get better at that. It's just a matter of breaking the cycle and doing these things. But I can tell you that the sleep study thing was somewhat a wake-up call of that, because the idea of it is that if you lose a ton of weight, you also lose the sleep apnea, meaning you won't necessarily need to sleep with the machine anymore, which is great. But it's just a matter of if I can get to that point, and look, I want to do everything I can to get to that point. It's just a matter of the day in and the day out of it. Look, I get stressed just as everybody else does. Work's tough. Situation comes up that's tough. And, as we humans, there's birthdays, there's holidays, there's stuff like that. There's bad food available to eat. It's not like I'm just going to, I get the super motivated among us will be like, no, I'll just eat my small salad plate over here. You have fun with your hamburgers and hot dogs and cookout food. And no, I get that I could do that. I won't, but I get that I could. So it's just trying to find those balances of that. If you're eating bad during the day, you don't have to then maybe snack after. Or if you're eating super healthy, you can have another snack, but you don't have to overdo it. So I acknowledge those. I have them in here, and at times they are very helpful and motivating. And at times it's like, well, one day can't hurt. And then you do it 2 days in a row. It's like, wow, 2 days was a big deal. Then it's 3, and then it's 4. And then you realize you did it for a whole week, and then you got to counterbalance that with being really good for a whole week. But the idea is the hope is I'm trying to be really good in general. So that's the plan moving forward. Obviously, the concern about that machine and that in the next month here will be my every night, is going to take something to get used to. I don't know how I feel about it just yet. I do realize when I kind of embraced how to properly use it, that it was helpful. But I will say I woke up several times during the night too. And I don't know if that's just my weird thing, or being in a weird place, or having all these things strapped to my head, or, having this big tube coming out of my nose. I'm sure it was all of those things. But I just wonder how it'll work in the home setting, doing this night in and night out. Now, I can tell you, and I on the drive home and getting home, and, I had to take a shower, because you got to shower all the glue off your head, that I felt more rested. I didn't sleep a ton, so I did end up going back to sleep. And then I had an early, wake-up call again, because my daughter woke up. So then I felt a little bit more groggy, but maybe I should have stayed up. By the time I got back, 4:39, they woke me up. By the time I got home, by the time I showered, it was like almost 6 in the morning. I probably could have stayed up, to be honest with you, but I just didn't. And then I woke up again at like 8:30, 9 a.m. And, I was groggy again, and then I slept for a couple more hours in the chair. I do off and on sleep regularly, and that's another reason why I probably don't sleep too well. So, but that'll do it. Look, I'm happy to be 20 pounds down. I cannot scoff at that. It's awesome, but just a matter of I should be probably 30 pounds down at this point. But look, I'll take the win. But I obviously want to do significantly more. The summer months are coming up, as we've established, and as you well know, if you're a bigger person or were ever a bigger person, the summer months, not kind to bigger people. It's the worst. So the more weight I can lose during this summer, the better. But look, happy for the 20. Just wish it was 30, 40 at this point. But I'll take what I can get. Guys, thanks so much for watching. If you are new here, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to support me on Patreon like John Bailey did, you can do so. Link is in the description below. If you'd like to buy a t-shirt, a TomWasHere t-shirt, you can do so at Spreadshirt, as well as links to my eBay store, Facebook page, Instagram, TikTok, and the Pennsylvania Autograph Collectors Association. Links are in the description below. I would like to do more of these. I don't like to do milestone stuff, but it seems, with, to be honest, being tired all the time, it takes up a lot of my day. Going to work, crashing out after work, waking up for a few hours, putting in some life, turn down stuff, trying to fill up the weekends with going out and going seeing things or filming things or family events or life events or all that stuff going on. There's just not a lot of time to fit in, constant updates about what's going on, especially when there's been very little update, except for my yo-yoing of motivation. So I would like to do these more often. Maybe if I start getting exercise and getting about, maybe, with the machine in my house, I'll have more energy to exercise, go out and be active more. That's the hope, I guess. But thanks so much for watching, and until the next weight loss journey or the next video, I will see you soon. But until then, bye everyone.